Please join me in welcoming alumnus Mr. Marcus Roll.
I'm gonna have to take you everywhere I go. I have to think about that. Who are you talking about? Kind of good. First and foremost, I have a quick housekeeping item. A couple of days ago, I was told that this was going to be recorded. I'm a pretty competitive person, so I'm gonna do my job up here to make it look good. But regardless if you think this is life-changing, transformational or not, it doesn't matter. At the end, I'm gonna need a standing ovation. I need this to look good. Or we can go with the slow clap into the standing ovation. However y'all wanna do that. I'll let y'all take some artistic liberty over that. But I'm gonna need you to hook your boy up. Are we good? Good? All right. First and foremost, I wanna thank Emily Dominique and Tom Moore for just thinking of me and being able to address you guys here today. When I heard there was CEOs and engineers and lawyers and doctors, I'm not quite sure how you landed on me, but it's not lost on me that this is an honor to be able to speak to you guys here today. It's hard to believe that come April, it'll be 20 years since I graduated from Kinkaid. Besides feeling extremely old, I have an extreme sense of gratitude in the time that I spent here and having the ability to go to Kinkaid. And I looked at it as a privilege, right? It's not until you leave that you truly understand your experience here at Kinkaid. It's kind of like the whole forest and trees thing, right? It's all a blur while you're here. Once you leave and you're able to digest it, you truly understand just how amazing of a place this is. And I can truly say that my time here greatly shaped the person I am today in every aspect of my life. If I had to sum up what I got the most out of my time at Kinkaid, the one thing I would say is it exposed me to things that neither my environment nor my family could expose me to. I'm a kid who grew up off 288 in Yellowstone, right near the 3rd Ward. I grew up in a single parent home. In fact, I didn't meet my dad until I was 23 years old. Until my sister, a fellow Kinkaid graduate, 1997 class, no one in my family had graduated from college. So it wasn't like we were seeing a lot of success where we were coming from. But Kinkaid exposed me to a world that, quite frankly, I never knew was imaginable. For me, my time here was less about the curriculum and the things that we learned and more about the people and the experiences and the things that I was able to do. I'm a big believer in representation, right? If you see it, you can achieve it. If you see success, you'll be successful. Because of that, I'll always be grateful, and I'll always look back on my time at Kinkaid with great fondness. So in the spirit of giving back, I hope that I can drop a little bit of knowledge on all of you guys on some things that I've learned over the years in my career in financial services. So my path to financial services is an interesting one. I never wanted to do this. This is not what I wanted to do. In fact, I tried to do literally everything else but this. But I ended up getting kind of roped into it. What I wanted to do was work in sports in some form or fashion, whether it was be an athletic director, whether it was going to be a front office guy, whatever it was. That's what I wanted to do. No matter what, sports is going to be the career for me. In fact, when I graduated from SMU, I wrote a handwritten letter to all 32 teams in the NFL. Clearly, no one cared. I'm here now. So that's that. My first job out of college, funny enough, was actually coaching football at Episcopal. I was the JV defensive. I'll take that L. I'll take that. Coach Lisa and I built a great relationship. He was a coach and really a friend during my time here at Kinkaid, so I knew him well, and he gave me my first shot out of high school. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was by far, still today, professionally the most fun I ever had working. I just remember just bonding with the kids, just the excitement of competing again. It was great. However, I remember getting my first paycheck, and I remember looking at it and just trying to figure out who FICO was and why they were taking all my money. And while I love coaching, I loved other things like being able to afford food and clothing and not living in my mother's home forever. So something had to give. And as fate would have it, I would soon meet someone who changed my life. My girlfriend at the time, now wife, has a little brother who played on a select baseball team, and I would go to some of the games from time to time. It was there that I met a gentleman named Bill, who also had a kid on the team. And one day after the game, everyone went over to Bill's house for some get-together, some type of team celebration. I can't remember why we were there, but we were there. And when I got to Bill's house, it didn't take me long to realize I wanted to do whatever Bill did. When I saw his house, his cars, where everything was, I was like, Bill, I don't know you, but I'm up for adoption. So if we can get this going. So no, Bill at the time worked at UBS and had held various roles at other major Wall Street firms. By any definition, he'd be considered a successful veteran of our industry. I got to know Bill really well, and he took an interest in me when he really didn't have to. He helped guide me very early on in my career. The best thing he did for me was not hire me to UBS, but he did give me my very first shot within the industry, working as a financial advisor at Wells Fargo Advisors. Bill Marfetto was my first mentor in this business, and I'll forever be grateful for him. Even though we don't work at the same company anymore, he's still someone that I can count on for advice, bounce things off of, and lean on. But as I began to go further in my career journey, I realized that mentorship can only take you so far. That as you ascend to new heights and new levels in your career, there's a higher level of advocacy needed in order to move on. This is when I learned a very important lesson. This is when I learned the meaning of sponsorship. I'm pretty sure all of you believe that, the workplace is like a meritocracy. If you work hard, put your head down, and just do what you're supposed to do, good things will happen for you, right? That's a myth. Or as your kids say, what is it? That's cap. That's my last time trying to be cool, I promise. Oh God. But there's a little more to the story. I've been blessed in my career. I've had pretty much every role and title you can have in Wall Street as it relates to wealth management. I've been a managing director. I've worked at some of the biggest firms in our industry. I've had the privilege of running large businesses over a wide geographic area. All by the relatively young age of 37. But if you were to ask me very early on in my career, what were the keys to success, I would have given that same tried and true, response. Just worked really hard, just did what I was supposed to do, and just got lucky, right? But as you go further and as you tend to get a little bit more success, you realize that you can only do so much, that you have to have some advocates. And those advocates need to be in the form of sponsors, which are completely different than mentors. Along the way, it became clear to me that I had people advocating for me in rooms that I was not privy to. Most decisions in your career are made in rooms that you're not in, with people talking about you who only know part of your story. That's where sponsorship comes into play. A sponsor is someone who actively talks about you and promotes your growth. They provide access to opportunity and career advancement. This is much different than a mentor. A mentor has knowledge and wisdom. They guide you. They tell you, hey, you should do this, you should do that. A sponsor has power and influence. When they speak, people listen. It became more evident to me the importance of sponsorship as I began to sit in those rooms where decisions were made. Every company has a talent review process, right? It's pretty simple. Those in the top quartile are, usually the ones thought of higher. Those are the ones that get more opportunity, probably make more money. Those in the bottom quartile, those are the ones who are not thought of as highly, who probably don't make as much money, and who are at risk of maybe not being there after that talent review. Pretty simple. One by one, the senior leaders begin to talk about their direct reports. And quickly it became evident who the sponsors were, who had sponsors in the room and who did not. Those who were sponsors gave glowing reviews of their direct reports, and they had the ears of their peers. When they spoke about one of their people, everyone listened. Their view of that person became the consensus view shared by everyone. You see, we all have a brand and a narrative attached to our name, whether you know it or not. Whether you create it or whether it's created for you, you all have a brand. When I look at Anthony, there's something that automatically comes to mind about him. Whether it's what he wants it to be or not, it is what it is. But I learned that day that you alone cannot create, define, or promote that brand without some type of accuracy. You need sponsorship. But let me be abundantly clear. You're gonna need both. You're gonna need mentorship and sponsorship as you move along your career, and in life for that matter. Sometimes if you're lucky, that person can present himself and be both. In my case, a gentleman by the name of Matt Cabot at Morgan Stanley has played the role of mentor and sponsor for me for over a decade. I used to jokingly say when I walked into rooms at Morgan Stanley events, hey, if you don't like me, blame Matt. He's hired me 4 times. But I know behind those closed doors, where decisions were being made about my career, Matt had my back. I can count on Matt to represent me well. As a almost 50-year employee of our firm and a managing director, his words hold weight, right? When he says something, people listen. And that's what you need when you look for sponsors. Now, my next question is only natural. Who are those individuals in your life that you can count on to represent you when you're not around, who say positive things about you and help promote your career? If you find yourself wondering, how do I gain sponsors? Well, you're lucky. I'm here. I'm going to help you. I'll show you how. So how does one build a network of sponsors? I have what I think are 5 tried and true ways to help build your case for sponsorship. So number 1, work hard and prove yourself. No one wants, when you're a sponsor, you're attaching your name to someone's work performance. You're attaching your name to someone's character. So you have to give them a reason to want to do that. You have to give them a reason to put their personal and professional name on the line for you. So work hard. 2, try to pick someone who's seen your work. You know, you're gonna do group projects, cross-divisional work, all that type of stuff. Pick someone who can speak to the value of your work. It's a lot easier to advocate and come up with a story and a narrative when I've seen you do it, when I've actually verified that you can do good work. Number 3, check if they have the capacity. You know, people in these roles are extremely busy. And while they may have the power and perceived influence, if they don't have the capacity to build a relationship with you and to help you and advocate for you, then are they really a sponsor? Number 4, don't be afraid to articulate what you want out of a sponsor. Help them help you. Again, these are people who already are extremely busy, stressed on time. Help lead them in the way that they can help you. To help define what you want to get out of this relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. My grandma said, closed mouths don't get fed. Number 5, follow up and follow through. They ask you to do something or they suggest something to you, do it. And then when you do it, report back. Talk to them about the experience. Thank them for the time that they gave you in order to make that suggestion. No one wants someone who's flaky. You don't want to work with a person who's flaky. You don't want that to be attached to your name. So it's not lost on me that I've thrown a lot of things out to you this morning. You know, but remember, you don't have to boil the whole ocean all at once. Take 1 or 2 things that said here today and just run with them. Don't try to master it all. Know that over time, you know, these skills will develop and you'll get better at it. Although it's been a while since I've been back here at Alumni Leadership Day, you know, I've always loved participating in this event. This is always one of my favorite things to do. It's incredible to hear some of the questions you guys would ask us as panelists. It often made me question if I really did graduate from the school. I mean, y'all was smart. And then, you know, talking to you about some of the new things that you guys have going on, it's crazy. But I always left encouraged. And I always like to encourage because I know each of you will do great things. In this room are game changers, innovators, leaders. The things you learn here will forever shape not just your lives, but also the communities that you serve. You're all worthy of sponsorship and advocacy. I wish you all the best. Good luck on your journey, and thank you for your time.